right. We just waiting on a few people.
Are you live yet or not?
Yeah, it's live.
All right, cool.
I'm just waiting on a few people to show up here.
All right. All right. We up to 60 subscriber on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dang, y'all passed me up. That's awesome.
Ooh, I forgot to blast it on the the Twitter. I think it might be too late. I'll do it next time.
Go ahead. Use that YouTube link.
All right.
Still got time.
Do it on Twitter so I can retweet it. Tweet it.
I know you like to twerk it.
What did you say?
I said that you like to twerk it. Oh, I was sending that one out too there.
Beat you.
No, mine's better.
Yours is longer.
That's what she said.
Jesus Christ. I'm editing all this out.
Oh shit, that's right, we're live.
What's up, Cheeks?
What?
No, he's saying to Chinks the Billy.
What's up? Chinks the Billy.
That's somewhat like a racist name, bro.
It's his avatar, man. Yeah, we didn't wait that right there. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, guy?
What's up,
What's up, man? Why do you have a racist, name, man?
It's not racist, man.
Chinks is kind of racist, man. Is that your
Chinks
middle?
is a rapper.
Is that your middle name or something?
No, it's a rapper.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, Chinks Drugs.
I don't listen to rap, bro.
He's from New York. He got shot.
I'm a rocker, not a rapper. What's up, VW?
What's going on?
All right, man. I guess we got some people in here, so let's go ahead and get started.
Hello.
Let me find the.
All right. What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Sticks.
All right, guys. So welcome to the Sunday Hangouts for August the 4th. First, we got to drop in the disclaimer here. So we are not. What is that feedback? Is that me? Or?
You gotta turn off your the volume on the YouTube.
Yeah, he got it.
Okay, let me try this again. All right, so we're not licensed financial professionals here. So just a group of guys talking about stocks here, okay? So you got to know that when you go into trading, that it's risky and you shouldn't trade with any money that you are not willing to lose. And go ahead and read the required disclaimer there, and we will be good to go. All right, so who wants to start us off?
All right, I guess I'll do it. You there?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right. So
We're
I
live on the internet.
All right, interwebs. I have one stock I want to share. Where are we putting it in the Hangouts?
Yeah, Sunday Hangouts, if you don't mind.
Cool. Let me go ahead and crap. Sorry, I'm definitely not prepared. Here we go. Okay. Sunday Hangouts. Let me find it. Sunday Hangouts. There we go. All right. So I have this one right here. This is AMD. Since 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 days, it reached a very strong support. I'm sorry, very strong resistance, and also it had earnings. Earnings were pretty. I guess they were okay. I didn't even post it. Sorry. There we go. There we go. Earnings, they were estimated to make about 9 cents per share. Instead, they made about 8 cents per share. Yeah. So if you see the line there, it's kind of hit that resistance once, twice, three, maybe about 4 times. And then, of course, with earnings, they went down more. I am looking at AMD right around this level. That little blue line you see there, that is the 9 EMA. I would prefer if AMD reaches that 9 EMA or breaks past that 9 EMA before I enter the trade. Yeah, so I'm keeping AMD on my watch list.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I actually tried to enter this in my long-term account, I think on Wednesday I think it was Thursday maybe. And then it just got blown out by the whatever day the Trump tweet was.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to stop out of it really quickly. So I was like in and out on the same day. So that usually never happens, but that kind of crazy move from that event kind of shows you what can happen.
Exactly.
All right, so AMD.
All right, I'll go with the next one. It's SLDB. Jacob, you want to pull that chart?
SLDB?
Yeah.
Solid Biosciences Incorporated?
Yep. I actually posted about this on our premium alert room. A little research I did based on what it is around based on Friday valuation, the market cap for this stock is 211 million, and it went up like 9.3% on Friday when everything was going down. This was not really affected, and company insider bought around 34 million worth of stocks at price of 4.625 last week. So we have currently, I don't know how much percentage, but recently 16% or higher insider bought, and that usually does not happen on a stock unless the insider knows something or there's a management change, or the insiders are believing that the stock is going to go up higher and they're putting their own money on the line. So this was what it seemed like. It is a very heavily shorted stock as well. So it's a very nice risk reward based on this stock. It could be, I don't know, a couple of weeks to maybe 6 months or a year. But if you really look at the the history of the stock based on the fundamental, this seemed like a very good play. I would say my stop loss would be at 460, and this stock can go up, like maybe like $10, $15, $20, $30, depending on how hard does the shorts get squeezed on this one.
Okay.
For earning next week as well. That's on, I believe, August 9th or something like that. August 9th they have our earning as well, which I think will be pretty bad. But I don't know. They may surprise us with some forward guidance or something new, drugs or something.
August 8th, actually. So that's a Thursday. That's next Thursday, after market.
Yeah. So I'm going to be taking a nice size position on this stock on probably on Monday. I mean, I'll take half of this before the earning, and I'll take, based on how the earning goes, maybe I will add to my position depending how it goes and what they actually say.
All right. It looks like this stock really hasn't been affected too much by the recent action in the rest of the market. I mean, it's just been kind of chopping sideways for the past few days, and sideways to up. It's actually got a bullish signal from the ZTH scalper on the 4-hour on that last candle.
Yep,
So
that's
interesting.
you're looking on the 4 hours.
Yeah, did it show up on the daily as well?
Yeah, it's on the daily. It's showing up around.
Yeah,
I
you
think
got
June.
you got the tier
July
2.
25th.
You got the tier 2 bullish. So it's going from red to green there.
Yeah, that's when most of the majority of the buying just happening, which
Mhm.
happened between July 25th to July 30th from the insiders.
All right. All right, very cool.
All right, you can take the next one. Yeah, so the daily is showing up on.
All right, so before we go any farther, I just want to look at the actual market. SPY in the form of the futures. Just to let everybody know, if you're not looking at the market, SPY is kind of falling off the table right now in the form of the futures. So I don't know exactly what's going on in Asia right now, but they did not like something, and they rolled it right off the table at about what was that, 8 o'clock Central, and it's trading right around just above 2907 right now on the ES. For SPY, we're looking at 290.56. So they really dropped the hammer on it in the Asian session here to get the week started off. So not sure what's going to happen by the open. Likely Europe may follow suit, or they could find a bottom here and rally. But we have had 3-4 days of down move, so it is kind of due for a bounce back a little bit. So you never know what can happen, but we'll see what happens going forward.
That means UVXY is going up, right?
That's probably what that means. If we open up lower than we did Friday, UVXY is probably going to be in the 32 to 33 range. Yeah, we're going to get hit on those. But if you've got it out, if you've got it out a ways,
I still got like 2.
It can come up just as fast. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it opens up, because like a lot of time, sometimes it's actually going down in the pre-market, sometimes actually healthier for it to bounce.
Yeah, looking at SPY, I mean, it's kind of touching a support right now around that 290.40 area from a few weeks ago. So it could catch some support right there and have a bounce for us, but we just got to wait and see what's going to happen.
Hey, one quick question. Someone's asking on YouTube, what is futures?
What is futures? Okay. So futures contract is just a leveraged contract that my son woke up. So it's a leveraged contract with an underlying similar to an option, but they don't have your time decay, things like that. So, but they don't move like options as far as the price of the contract. So they move in ticks. So like the ES, if we go to the ES, which is the S&P 500. We'll go a little bit,
Around.
Here we are. Come on. So the futures on the S&P 500 move in quarter ticks. So each tick is worth $12.50. Okay, so each point move would be worth $50. Okay, so it's not quite the same as options. It's a little bit different, but it's still a very highly leveraged product versus just trading the actual index. And if you want more information about futures, I mean, you can just Google that, or there's also lots of information on YouTube about those as well. But that's something that I trade a lot, is the MES, which is the micro of the S&P. So this one is actually, it moves exactly the same as the regular ES, but it's 10 times smaller. So if you guys are like looking to get into futures, if you don't want to spend a lot of money to get into it, this is a great way to do it, because it's 10 times less money required to actually trade it. So let's see, sorry about that, I'm on the wrong one. There we go. So sorry about that. So it's 10 times less money required to actually trade this. So instead of needing like $6,700 to trade one contract, you'd only need like $670 margin requirement to trade this. And it like I said, the ES actually moves for every 1 point that it moves. So if it goes from 29.25 to 29.26, the regular ES would be a $50 profit for you. On the micro, it's going to be a $5 profit. So it moves much smaller as well. So like I say, if you wanted to get your feet wet into futures, this is a great way to do it without risking a lot of money and having to put up a lot of money to actually trade it. All right.
And the great thing about futures is there's no, you can trade as much as you like.
Yeah. You kind of cut out on mine. I don't know if cut out on the stream, but I think what he said was there's no PDT rule with futures. So if you guys are struggling with the PDT rule, futures, it's not applicable with the PDT rule, because futures are made to be traded frequently all day long. So.
All right. We also have somebody asking us, what do we think of the shop?
All right.
SHO symbol.
Shopify. Hey, can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Sorry about that.
That's what happened to your full-time dad.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go to sleep right now.
I don't want to go to sleep either, man.
All right. Shopify. So this thing is just really bullish. Looks like kind of had a little bit of a waffle there past few days, but I mean, it's just grinding up. If you look at the back out, it's just on a 45-degree angle to the upside. Looks like on the 4 hour, still kind of holding those trend lines.
And their earning was actually pretty good as well. So, I mean, the earnings are so small compared to what the price of the stock is. So, but the expectation was 5 cents, and they got actually 14 cents, which is kind of stupid. Yeah, they killed it, but it's also kind of stupid, like 14 cents earning on a stock that's like around 350. But it's a great company, and the great thing is they also did not do their IPO the way traditional companies do their IPO. So a lot of the insiders are still holding up their shares. So that's a great reason. I think that's one of the reasons why it's going up in this direction.
Yeah. All right, so if we zoom in here, on their earning, they popped up really nicely. Looks like to all-time highs, right? 40. Yeah, all-time highs off the earnings. Day after earnings, and they kind of dropped back down, probably likely due to the bearish action in the market, but they're still holding up really nicely around 330. So it's kind of making this symmetrical triangle here.
Are you talking about Shopify?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also good to like put like a marker on the all-time high 52 weeks because that's the new resistance. So you want to see a breakout on top of that.
All right, I'll be right back. You guys take it from here. I'll be right back. Just give me a minute.
I have the same issue.
I'll be right back.
All right. So that I'm going to be
All right, I'm back. What did we go? What did we go over? Sorry, while I was gone. That's cute. Okay. That's Kobe. What's up, man? Yeah, dude. What's up? Yeah, we're still trading options, man. I ain't trading no Bitcoin. Yeah, man. So I like DHI. I mean, I've traded this one in the past. It's with Dow Horton, right? Yeah, housing stock. Sorry, you know a little bit about the housing market, right? Because used to be a realtor and all that, right? How is the housing market right now, overall? Makes it easier to borrow. All right. Let's see. Let's look at. I've got a couple that Captain wanted to share. He couldn't be here tonight, so throw some of these in here. EOBC. He said short for this one was the bias that he had, that he was looking for. So imagine something like that. Let me zoom out a little bit, and maybe let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, so we've also got this horizontal line here. Take this off. So if we're looking at a potential move down to the 820 level, maybe is what he's looking at. Had a nice breakdown from that line there. So you got a little bit of room between what it's doing now and the 820 level. That was AOBC. Another one he had was ON. Kind of a similar pattern with this one. You got it's breaking down that lower trend line. And it looks like they've got earnings coming up, so be careful with that one. I'm not sure if he saw that or not, probably not. But that one's got earnings coming up on tomorrow, actually, before the market opens. So keep an eye on that one. It's broken down below that lower trend line on that big triangle. So if they miss, that one could drop pretty nicely. It's got a little ways to go, sitting right around 20 right now. Could drop, has room to like the 1750s. Let's try another one. Momo. I love this stock because it's a Momo stock and it's called Momo. So this one's got the nice big triangle as well. And another one that's breaking down that triangle pattern. And we've also got the, you can see the red bias on or the bearish bias on the ZTH scalper script there on the 4 hour. It's broken down that below that trend line as well. So that one. Throw one more. This one you guys like to trade, NVDA. So NVDA has just been making these huge waves back and forth and back and forth. So it looks like, we zoom in here. Kind of breaking down that lower trend line, and it's got quite a bit of room between the next support and where it's at right now. And if it breaks that support, it's got a lot of room to that lower trend line on the bigger, on the larger triangle. So we're talking about the next support looking like around the 155.50 level. And then if it breaks that, you've got room to like the 140s. However, we are pretty oversold on the RSI on the 4 hour, so keep that in mind as well. Actually, a lot of things are pretty oversold right now, just because of the last few days. All right. Yeah, so just want to look at this really quick on SPY. I mean, we had some of these Fibonacci extensions drawn in here, and they SPY pretty much reversed right off of a couple of those levels. If you guys have been watching, so right off of that 1618 to 302.10 level, I think it popped right above that, and then pretty much rolled. So this is one thing, if this is one skill that you should develop, that's really easy to learn, is drawing these Fibonacci extensions. When you're having things that are moving to all-time highs and you don't have any kind of resistance to look at, the Fibonacci extensions is a really good way to gauge where the stocks are going to go. And let me just clear all this stuff, and I'll show you just really quick how to do this. Okay. So for SPY, go into our Fibonacci extensions. Okay. So you would take a swing low to a swing high, and then back down to that swing low. And that should give you a target for your 1272 extension and your 1618. You can't see it from there because it's too high, but if we go back down here, one here, one there, back down here, and you can see that it draws it right in there, and you can see that the market comes right up into those levels, and that they're starting to fade out right there. And the reason is because a lot of these algos are using this type of Fibonacci things to run their trading. So it's a really good way to kind of gauge where a stock might give out on a run. If you're looking at all-time highs or something like that where you don't really have anything to gauge your resistance off of, the Fibonacci extension is a good way to gauge that that resistance, that hidden resistance where you might not see it plainly on the chart. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have? I don't have anything else on my list. Do you guys have anything else? All right. Right. Yep. So let's drill down a little bit into that candle. So if you guys aren't familiar with this hammer candle like he's talking about, drill down a little bit into a 5-minute. You can see why they made that. So it gapped up off the earnings. So they must have had a good earnings report. Yep, they beat earnings. They were estimated 143, and they actually beat at 157. So they gapped up on earnings. They crapped on the open, and then they grinded back up almost all the way back to the top. But that's a bullish sign that they were able to regain that and finish above VWAP. So kind of how that candle, that hammer candle is formed. It makes the lows and then comes all the way back. The bulls take control. All right, do we have anything else? Yeah, so I mean, with the week that we had last week, it was such an unexpected move, especially after the Trump tweet. I mean, likely probably to see some ranging, I would think, in the next week or two, if we don't keep dropping. So just need to know your support and resistance levels, and keep your stops tight. Because when you have big volatility like that, stuff can get kind of crazy quick. Yeah, so what I'm seeing on the 4 hour is we're butting right up to that support line, that lower trend line. So if it breaks that, I mean, you could have a pretty big drop. Looks like maybe the next support maybe around 1725 to 1670s. Yeah, so I mean my gut says that they're probably gonna find support there, but who knows. Let's see, one thing I'm seeing here is we have quite a lot of congestion around this 1700 level. If you see that back in from like January to March, that big consolidation period where it was just chopping sideways for like 3 months. And they bounced off of that level once already. So I would imagine that would be another area of support. So if we get down to around 1700, I'm probably going to be pretty bullish on that. I might even pick up shares in my long-term account if we get close to 1700 or dip below it, because that big 3 months of chopping around tells me that there's probably going to be a lot of support right there. All right. All right, Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla. Yeah. All right, so Tesla is interesting right now, and let's see what they do. Yeah, they actually had kind of a bad earnings report. This is not one that I was watching for earnings because personally I have had really bad luck with Tesla in the past, just because a while ago, I mean, before the SEC cracked down on Elon Musk, I mean, he would just, everything, he's kind of like Trump, like everything that he tweeted would just make the stock rip, one way or the other and just screw your positions over. So I didn't used to really follow any technical analysis type patterns like most stocks do. So it's really hard to trade for me in the past, but I think since he's kind of been quieter on social media and stuff, it's actually been a little bit better as far as technical analysis goes. I don't know if you guys can attest to that if you've been trading it much. I've day traded it a little bit here and there, mainly puts, because I think this company should probably go to zero. Just my personal opinion. just because of the way that they run the company, but that's just my personal opinion. And right now, I mean, it kind of looks a little bit bearish. I don't know. You've got a pretty good trend down, and it looks like it kind of is trying to reverse the trend. But then now it's kind of testing that lower trend line, and it looks like it's looking like if it breaks that lower trend line, it could keep going down again. So I would keep an eye on that lower trend line, like I've got it drawn in here, if you guys can see on the stream. And if you break below that level, probably around the say break below the 225 level, I would say look out, because it doesn't have much room. I mean, it's got plenty of room to fall quite a ways, I would say. So it look. I think they got real close. No, they did. 2 quarters ago they did. They were at almost at $2 per share. Yeah, but I think that was the first one that they'd ever had positive earnings on. But you can see it didn't really help the stock much. I mean, it just kept crashing after that. So, all right. But yeah, Tesla's just one of those stocks that traditionally, I mean, it doesn't really follow technical analysis, but lately, I mean, it has been. So who knows? Yeah. I mean, one thing that I see, I mean, if you look back here to when it was up around the 370 level, and this is kind of a similar pattern that it's putting in right here with that the big drop and then consolidation, and it's got that rising wedge look to it. Here, like this. The mouse can click. And then whatever happened, news or whatever, and it just crashed down like, was that almost 60 points, something like that? So Tesla's a big mover if you can catch the moves. All right, got RDF in. What's another one? Okay, sure. So this this indicator that I've got on here, I've also got the let me turn the VWAP off here. So this indicator that I've got on here is our ZTH scalper study for Thinkorswim. And so you can kind of see how it changes the, and let me I've got something else on here too. Let me turn that off as well. Turn my cloud off. All right, there we go. Now it's bare bones. All right, so this is the ZTH scalper script. So this is something that we sell on our website. It's a script for Thinkorswim. And what it does is it captures the momentum, shows you when the momentum is going either bearish or bullish. It also gives you profit targets and stops as well. So it paints the candles red or green based on the bias of the trade. So this bias is going to tell you whether it's going to be a bullish bias or not. So when you see it kind of chopping red and green, you want to stay away because you can see that it's going sideways. But when you get these dots, when you start getting these green dots, that's telling you that it's a bullish condition. So it's a buy condition, whatever. So if you get these lines, that's going to be what I call a tier 1 buy. So you get a green line and an L for long, and you get the green arrow along with the green dot. So that's going to be the best signal that you can get here. Okay, so that's telling you that everything's lined up for a long signal. And then based on the close of that candle, it's going to throw in these two lines here. And what these are their profit targets based on the average true range of the actual candles. So average true range, if you don't know, the average true range is the actual range of the last 14 candles. We have it set to the last 14 candles here. So this is going to be dynamic. The way this is set up, these profit targets are going to be dynamic to move with the action on the chart. Okay, and you can see here, the first one we've got is the first profit target, and the second one, is for, like say if you like to trade multiple contracts or multiple lots of stock, you can split your trade. If it gets to the first one, take half off, let the rest ride. You get to the second one, take the rest off, whatever. And then, so as long as you've got your green dots here, you should be good to go. When the momentum runs out, you get this white dot, and that's your stop dot, so it stops you out. And also, this script is set up for, or set up with alerts. So when you get these entry signals and the stops, it will give you an audible alert. And also, let me go find something that has the trade on. I'll show you something else. Go down it. 1 minute. There we go. All right. So if you look here, this one still has the trade on, right? So we got a short signal here, and SPY was dropping. So it hit the first profit target, hit the second profit target even, and it's still going. So you're still in the trade here. If you look up here, it gives you your profit target, so what it is. So these profit target lines aren't going to move as the stock moves. They're going to stay the same. So as soon as you get this long signal, it's going to pop up here with your what your profit targets are. So the way that that's helpful, and the reason that I put that in there, so if you wanted to, as soon as you get the signal, if you wanted to go ahead and set a limit order at those profit targets to go ahead and take you out when it gets there, you can, because you've got the actual price right there of where the target is. So that's another thing that's really helpful with that. Let's see, one other thing that's with this one, I'll take you into the actual script here, the options for the script. So you can see here we've got all the alerts. You have the option to turn these on and off. You can turn the profit target lines on and off. You can change the factors on the profit targets as well. You can turn the alerts off and on for the stops, and then you can also change to the second option for the EMA, or for the stop, excuse me. So I have this stop on EMA. So there's two options for your stops, okay? First option is for when the momentum shifts to the other side of the trade that you're already in. And the second option, if we change this, so the second option is that it'll keep you in the trade until you close above your slow EMA. So the reason that that's good is it may sometimes keep you in the trade longer. So if we, maybe this one's after hours, but you can, just for an example. So you would have been stopped out here, or right here actually. You would have been stopped out right here when the momentum changed. But since you changed the stop to stop you out above the EMA, it was actually able to get you out at a much lower price for that short, because it didn't close above the EMA until way down here. So that's one other feature of this script. Yeah, that's pretty much everything on it. Were there any other questions? Yeah, let me blow it up here on the YouTube here. On the YouTubes. All right, go ahead with your commentary. Over that top line, right? That top trend line. All right. So, yeah, I agree, man. Also, I mean, if you look at the RSI on this one, I mean, it's pretty. It's getting up there. I mean, so I would keep that in mind. It's it's an RSI, yeah. Yeah, it's just the regular RSI. It's at 63.55 right now, so. It looks like he's just trading the shares. Yep. Yeah. Around that 1730 area. All right, cool. Okay, guys. Well, if we don't have anything else, let's see. Before we go, let's take a look at see if there's any economic. Yeah. Let's take a look at this one first. Let's see. So, my browser's not cooperating here. See, Monday, PMI. Tuesday, we got job openings numbers. And then Thursday, weekly jobless claims. Not too much. Not too much in the way of economic reports and stuff like that. No Fed stuff. All the Fed stuff was last week. Okay, let's see. Let me take a look for the important earnings. 1 second. I usually pull this one off of Twitter. If you guys want to check, you can follow this Twitter account. It's good. This is Earnings Whispers. If you want to follow Earnings Whispers, and they usually put out this nice little graphic with all the important earnings for the week coming up, and whether they are before market open or after the market close. I'll throw that in the chat here real quick. Can you find it? There it is. There we go. Drop my pen. All right, so let me blow this up here. So let's look at it. Monday. We got Tyson Foods, Orion, Cars.com. Let's see anything that crazy. Shake Shack. That one's a good mover. Marriott after the close. Let's see, Tuesday, Chesapeake Energy, Bausch Health, Allergan, it's a big one. After the close, Disney on Tuesday, it's a big one. Wynn Resorts usually has big moves. I don't see anything else on Tuesday. See, Wednesday we got CVS before the open. Yep, after the close we got Roku on Wednesday. Marathon Oil, Stamps.com, Lyft. You guys that trade Lyft. It's after close Wednesday. Let's see, Thursday. You trade that one? Is that right? Okay. We got Kraft Heinz. Thursday, we traded that one a little bit in the past. See, Uber earnings Thursday after the close. Turtle Beach, that's here. You guys remember here, right? He's probably still short that thing. And then Friday, I'm not really seeing much here that I care about anyway. But anyway, that's the earnings for this week. You guys want to take a look at those. All right. So that's pretty much it for this week. Unless you guys have anything else. Gone a little bit over the 1 hour mark. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in for this week's edition of the Sunday Hangouts with the ZeroToHeroTrader.com gang. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And go ahead and check out our website. We actually launched our new course, our new trading course for beginner and intermediate traders just learning. If you guys want to check that out, it's at ZeroToHeroTrader.com, and we'd love to have you. Also, if you want to check out our free Discord chat, you can go ahead and check the link in the description and join our free chat in Discord and come hang out with us. All right, guys, we will see you next week. Later.